Greetings again, gang. Cheaters. Yeah, okay. You cheat in your marriage, you get caught. Usually leads to divorce court. You cheat on your taxes, it usually leads to an audit, probably jail. Okay. You cheat in a sporting event, that usually leads to forfeiting a game. Cheat in an election, that usually leads to being in the White House. Okay. I want to give you something real quick. Maybe you've been paying attention to this, maybe you haven't. The National Popular Vote Scheme, if you've heard what this is. In May, Minnesota became the 17th state to pass through their legislature, pass into law, that they are on board for the national popular vote to determine who is president. Okay. Michigan just passed through both houses of their legislature to become the 18th state. Nevada is on track to become the 19th state. All right. This gets very sticky. We are starting to get very close to, do we have enough states that want to do this, that Congress finally goes, we've got enough votes to try to amend the Constitution. Remember, elections are decided by the states on how they want to do it. Okay. This is where it gets sticky, because if you look at it, there are enough people in California, Texas, and Florida, maybe if you add Illinois in, that those four states could literally be enough to decide an election, right? I mean, there's 19 million people in New York. There's 39 million people in California. There's 32 million in Texas. There's 22 million in Florida, okay? Michigan has about 10 million people. That's not much more than what Chicago has, all right? So you start thinking about what the possibility is that your vote, my vote, wherever you live, unless you live in New York, California, Texas, Florida, feasibly wouldn't matter. Now, in those two, New York is very blue, California is very blue, Texas is very red, Florida is very red. Now, okay, Florida's been purple for a long time. You wonder why the Democrats are so concerned about trying to flip Texas and flip Florida. Okay, at that point, they've got a stranglehold on the U.S. election. Now, I know what a bunch of you guys are going to say. Elections don't matter. It's, the old saying, it doesn't matter how you vote. It's who counts the votes. I get it. Okay, but I'm telling you this so you understand this. So when you get into these states that have adopted the national popular vote, I want to give you this. These are the states that it's already been enacted into law. Okay, so it's already passed through everything. Their congressmen or whatever senators are obligated to vote for this. Listen to this list of states, and you tell me what they all have in common. Hawaii, California, Oregon, Washington, New Mexico, Colorado, Minnesota, Illinois, Maryland, Delaware, Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, and Washington, D.C. Notice what those states are. They are all blue. Like I said, Michigan, purple, okay, leans blue. Nevada, purple. Again, they don't lean either way. They flip-flop, okay? But this is the deal that you've got going on, where these states have all agreed, and some of them have just totally drive me nuts. I mean, you look at a Washington or a Colorado or a Minnesota, they just have come up, their legislatures have come up and said, our citizens' votes don't matter. We'll just do whatever the people in New York want, whatever the people in California want. Flyover country, who cares, right? You've all heard that term, That's why the Democrats, they only worry about each one of the coasts. Everything in the middle is wasted space to them. They don't care about those people. That's the Democrats. This is actually going on. We're talking 17 states have enacted this into law. 18 and 19 are on the cusp. You get to 26, guys, and you're going to have senators push this bill up real fast, going, we need to change the Constitution. We have more than half the states that think this is a good idea. If you think your vote doesn't matter now, wait until that happens, where we're just at the mercy of what happens in 4 or 5 states. And now presidential campaigns, rallies, whatever, we're not going to South Carolina. We don't care about the caucuses in Iowa. We're only campaigning in Illinois, New York, Washington, or Illinois, California, New York, Texas, and Florida. If we win those states, that's all that matters, because that's where all the people are. That's all they care about, okay? Because those states have enough to flip an elect, or to determine election under that. On the other side, okay, good luck on this one getting through, but it's the same thing. House Republicans have introduced a bill this week, okay? It's called the American Confidence in Elections Act. I love how they've always got to come up with a acronym. This is the ACE Act, right? That basically moves more of the power, where the Democrats want to take all the power away from the states. The Republicans are trying to give more power to the states, right? Okay. They want to give the states more power to protect the integrity of the elections, and they want to try to restore voter confidence in the elections, which of course is important. In the Republican bill, it includes a photo ID requirement to cast a federal ballot. I don't have to tell you anything about that. Buy a beer, rent a car, get on a plane, whatever, you got to have ID, but vote, no, right? Okay. They want to have in this bill, bar non-citizens from voting. It amazes me that that's even got to be in there, because the Constitution says only citizens vote, okay? But yet Massachusetts is now trying to push something through where not only can non-citizens vote in local elections, they want non-citizens to be able to vote in federal elections, okay? The Republican bill wants to require annual maintenance of the voter rolls. In other words, annually get rid of the people that are dead, okay, or people that have moved out of state, which I think is a good idea. As you moved out of state, okay, you don't have vote here anymore. When we moved here in 2019, okay, 2019, there was no election. In 2020, I had already been gone for 8 months. We were in Tennessee in April of 2019. January 2020 would have been 8 months. In October of 2020, I got an absentee ballot that was forwarded from my old house in Nevada to my new house in Tennessee. 19 months after I moved away, Nevada sent me an absentee ballot. It was forwarded to me in the mail. Did I vote? No, I'm not going to commit a crime. But this annual recalibration of the voter rolls needs to happen to get rid of the dead people. Sorry, Chicago, that's probably going to completely change your elections. Okay. They wanted, the other thing in this bill is preventing the mailing of unsolicited ballots to people. It needs to go, the law says, the way it's supposed to work, you want an absentee ballot, you need to request one from the state and say, I need an absentee ballot because I'm in the military, I live in Michigan, and I'm currently stationed in Texas. I want an absentee ballot, okay? Or I'm, working on a contract for a company and I'm currently in Germany, but I live in Oklahoma, whatever. Somehow like that, anything. I'm taking care of my parents' funeral arrangements down in Arkansas and I live in Minnesota. Those are legitimate reasons, okay? Not the state going, here's the voter rolls, let's just blast a bunch out. These are things that you need to look at. This is what's going on both sides. The Democrats are trying to figure out a way to cheat the people out of their constitutional right to have their voice heard. And the Republican side is trying to rein in the federal government from making all the rules. Okay, the fact that we are the United States of America, not just America. Okay, we are not a one country. This is it. We are a collection of 50 states. I want you to pay attention to this because this national popular vote thing is gaining steam in the Democrat states. Make sure you pay attention to what's going on in your state to put an end to this. Because if this ever happens, we will go communist. Because like I told you, all the states that have passed this are all the Democrat states. Why? Because that's the way they can silence the people that founding fathers gave us the original right. This is the reason why we have the Electoral College. So a person's voice in Wyoming means just as much as a person's voice in New York City. Democrats think those of us who live in flyover country shouldn't be heard. Pinball out.